Good afternoon, it's John McLaughlin again. Welcome to another trading session. This is the Crossfire session, 1 PM UK time. Just before we get started today, I wanted to say it's been a really weird trading week. I don't know if it's because we had Martin Luther King Day on Monday, but certainly there's not been a huge amount of volume in the market, and just acting a bit weird. As you've seen from some of the trading sessions we've had this week, and this is what sometimes happens. You have some slight unpredictability, volatility, and low volume, and usually 15th of January the markets recover after Christmas and New Year, and that's what started to happen. Then we had the holiday, Martin Luther King Day on Monday, and it's just kind of sent the markets kind of into a bit of a spin. So we've had some good wins, of course, and I always say the best time to trade for the Crossfire session is the 6 AM UK time at the start of the London Open, London and European Open, essentially because the centre of the financial world is the City of London. However, here we are, okay, and it's Friday afternoon, and we've got high impact news on the horizon, so it should be quite interesting. And typically the best days to trade are usually sort of Monday afternoon, Tuesday, all the way up to Thursday, maybe Friday morning. Friday afternoon, the markets start closing, people start going home, the bank's obviously closing, and you can get volatility because sometimes the news kicks in, and there are certain targets that need to be met for the financial institutions. So we shall see what today brings. But today, on the charts, we have the Euro CAD, Euro USD, GBP CAD and GBP USD. The first thing I want to go and do is we're just going to take these indicators off just so I can see the charts better. And I'm going to put my vertical line on the 1300 and a couple of trend lines just in readiness for 1315. So if you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you get some value from this, and of course give us a thumbs up if you do as well. I really appreciate that. And also you can benefit from the course. I put a mini course together just going through some of the specifics, and from there I'm also putting some additional training, additional resources together to really help you, and just really help you learn about how to generate income from Forex trading and other things. So this is really going to benefit you, and of course all that training is free, so just jump on there. And of course, if you follow the course and you get the principles of what I do here, then you'll know why these trend lines are on and how to put them on the chart. But I'm going to go through it step by step. So Euro USD, just again take off the indicator, so we've got a nice clean chart. 1300, couple of trend lines ready. We'll just change that one to green. GBP CAD, again take off the indicators. We've got quite a lot of lines here that we've had on previously, areas of interest, so I'm not kind of anything, I'm going to take them off, because too many lines on your chart just confuses things. And then we'll also kind of come back and have a look at some imbalance as well. So 1300. So you can see right now where price is, we've got imbalance, and that's been mitigated already. Okay, so we're going to take that off. This area here was imbalance, it came back down, and then it came back down to take it out. So that imbalance is gone. So let's just go back to GBP USD, and we'll take off the indicators. Again, make sure all your pairs, when you're putting these on, is on the 15-minute time frame. Any imbalance that you've got on there, make sure you put the imbalance on the 15-minute time frame, and we take our trades from the 2-minute time frame. Just gives us a bit of a slightly more zoomed in look, and also like an early warning system. Okay, so the next thing we'll do, let's go back again, let's go and see about what we've got on the charts. And so here is the start of the session. Okay, from just gone 10 o'clock yesterday UK time. Price pushed up, and it always does this. This is something else that is maybe something that we may look at. Okay, where does price have a significant impact? Okay, when does price go up or down? Okay, and typically it's the early hours. Okay, so I've noticed like 2 or 3 in the morning, but you can see here 11 o'clock started to go up, went bearish. Sorry, bullish is up, went bullish. Then it went sideways at 2:15, where typically price is quite volatile at 2:15, 3 a.m. In the morning, and then it came back down 7 o'clock. Obviously, the market in London and the European markets open, came all the way down for the sell, almost took out this imbalance. It then recovered 10:15, and then it's kind of, see, it went up and down and messing about. So right now 1300, this is where we are. So have we got any imbalance? We've got let's have a look. No, nothing there, nothing here. No, not really. This is from yesterday, and nothing really yesterday either in terms of the imbalance. There was a big move here because of price manipulation again. I should say news, but yeah, news is pretty much price manipulation. There is imbalance with this candle here, but I'm not going to put it on because it's too near the actual price. We've got imbalance here. See there, between that wick and that wick, this gap here, this fair value gap. Some people call it a fair value gap. I just call it imbalance. So that's currently being taken out right now. So I'm going to leave that on, or just leave that off, should we say, because we don't want too much on the chart. But you know, might price want to come back down and take out this imbalance and go down to the pivot? We'll see. Right, Euro USD imbalance. What have we got? What have we got? Okay, similar move. Okay, start of the session, pushed up. Okay, down, back up, and now we're here. So, is this created any imbalance? Well, that move there took out this imbalance, so that's gone. Nothing really there. No real imbalance to talk about, which is kind of interesting. And the imbalance that we've got from here, this is also has been mitigated. In fact, let's go back to Euro CAD and just make sure that isn't still active. No, yes, it is. Look, it's not active. So we put the imbalance on here, okay, and then this has now been mitigated here. It got mitigated the 16th of Jan. So let's just remove this. So we have very little imbalance going on, which is interesting. Okay, so that's the Euro USD that we've looked at. GBP CAD. So you can see straight away there's a gap there, look. Big old gap. Okay, so we'll just take our square, we'll put it from there down to the wick. Okay, so down to there, move that across to make it a bit neater. Click on the cog, click on template, click on imbalance. Okay, and all that does, it just puts a text on there, so you can do the same sort of thing if you want to. Okay, you might think that's an annoyance having imbalance written all over your pages. Okay, so from here, look, this was imbalance that we had previously on the 17th, 2 days ago. So this is still active. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to move this across, just so again I can just so I can see it, just so I can see it. There we go. Let's move that across as well. Okay, better. All right. So maybe tiny elements of imbalance in here, look, where you've got no, there isn't actually. See, look, I'm looking at this, but that's all been mitigated by this move. Okay, so in terms of imbalance, all we want is anything that's below this, which is this here, and anything above this kind of area or anything above it. And we've got this little area here, so that's it for the imbalance right now. Okay, that's pound CAD. So GBP USD, let's have a look at that. So straight away I'm looking at this, but look, we've got a wick that came all the way down, and that's covered by this wick here, so there's no, whatever imbalance there was, there is no longer. So we've got a bit there, look. So we'll grab our, so from the bottom of this green wick, that's the one we're doing, that's not right. No, that's not right, where are we? No, what was I looking at? Yeah, I was looking at this one. Yeah, that little doji candle there. Okay, let's do that again. So it's only from there to just to the top of that body. That wick there to the top of the body there. That's it. That's all there is. Okay, tiny, but it's still significant because it's still, you know, money on the table. Money's been left. Okay, and they want to go back for it at some point. Don't know when, but they're going to go back for it at some point. Okay. Anything else? A little bit there, look. Little gap. So we'll put our imbalance on. Template, imbalance, okay. Right, 13:13 and 22 seconds. So got the trading coffee on the go. That's always important. Keep the voice going. And at 13:15, the 15-minute time frame we're on now will finish. It will start a new one. It will paint a new candle, and we'll be able to put our trend lines on the chart. Go to the 2-minute time frame, put the indicators back on, and start trading and see what we've got. The other thing we've got as well, if we look at the My Forex book, at the economic calendar, you can see we've got a lot of high impact news with the CAD. We've got some low impact news in 45 minutes. This is 13:30, 1400 Euro news, and then 1500. We've got a whole cluster of high, medium, and low impact, or not medium, but high and low impact news on the USD. So again, it is Friday afternoon, and I'm sure the markets are going to see some volatility. Whether that volatility is in our benefit or to our benefit or not, we'll see. So Canadian dollar, I always like to put the so what did we say, 13:30, didn't we? 13:30. I'm going to take out these areas of interest as well, because we can soon put them back on again. And again, areas of interest, I'm going to add this to the course, but areas of interest can also be previous points of control. Okay, so on our chart we've got pivots, we've got our manual pivots, which are those blue lines I've just taken off, and also our points of control. Okay, but what you want to do is you want to just, okay, let me just stop talking for now because it's 13:15. So looking for the magnet tool, we want the higher high, which is this one here, and the red trend line gets put on top of the wick. The lower low next to this one is this green candle here, so we'll go and put that over there. And pretty much that's already in position, as if by magic. Right, 2 minutes, and the indicators go back on. Make it a bit bigger so we can see it, and that's ready to get going. Right, Euro USD. The higher high next to this one is a red candle. Put the magnet tool on so we get that snappage going on. The lower low is the red candle next to this one, bottom of the wick. And all we're going to do is going to put that trend line to the bottom of that 1300 wick. There we go, that's it. So 2 minutes, 2 minutes, there we go. And we're ready. We're ready. Okay, GBP CAD. High, one next to it, magnet. There we go. Put that on top of the wick. There's the lower low for this one, is this wick here. And what was that on? sometimes the case if you're a little bit too zoomed out. So you see how small these are. If you zoom in, okay, sometimes it's easier for TradingView to apply where you want your trend lines or whatever you're going to put on using the magnet tool. If you're too zoomed out, it'll stick to anything. Okay, so just check that again. So that is there. Yeah, that's okay. That's right. Okay. So 2 minutes. Put the indicators back on. We'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, look, we're already going down past the trend line. So we're gonna have a look at that. Right, higher high is this. Hang on, I lost it. Yeah, the red candle here. And we'll come down top of the wick. That's it. And the lower low, this green candle here. Let's zoom in a bit. Doesn't seem very much higher, but it is higher. It is higher, so that's where it's going. Just make sure that's on top of the wick. There we go. Yeah, the thing that's throwing me is it's not crossing over. I'm sure it'll cross over if we extended it, but we don't need to extend it any further than that. Right, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. There we go. Okay, so let's go back to GBP. Hang on, what's happened here? Oh, no. GBP CAD. Okay. So it's gone below our trend line. We're not far away from the pivot line, and currently it's reversing back up from there. So if we measure the pips or the numbers from here, 4.6 pips to the pivot, and we know that if it's going to go to the pivot, it'll resist and it'll either bounce or break. Okay. The other thing you've got to be really mindful of, okay, is in 10 minutes we've got high impact news. So being cautious. Okay, let's just put high news on there. Okay, being cautious, I'm going to stay out of this. And also, it's not really giving me a massive lot of interest to get in. So currently, where am I? I'm in a wave down. Okay, I've got the PSAR flip. The candle's the wrong color, and also on the Wada Atar, it's showing me that it's slowing down. It's weaker because of the color of the histogram, and it was pulling away on the dead zone, on the explosion line. But now it's just starting to curve back, so it's not 100%. So let's just go and have a look at EuroCAD. Similar sort of thing there. It's just on its way past our red trend line. Okay, but again, mindful of the fact here that we've got high impact news, and it's a Friday. And the pips from where we are now down to the pivot, it's only 8 pips. Okay, so I'm just going to stay out of that for now. The Wada Atar, it's showing a strength on the histogram. The explosion line is moving away, so that's encouraging. We're in a wave down. We've got the PSAR flip. In terms of the moving averages, we've got the 5, 13, 62 and the 200 all in order and all pointing down. So you would say, why don't you get in that trade, John? Well, it's because of the high impact news, and this is EuroCAD. Okay, so it could go either way. We don't know what's going to happen, but we know that typically the financial institutions, the banks, the big pension funds, the hedge funds, they like to manipulate the markets for themselves. And if this goes down, okay, then people are going to put stop losses up here, and this is where a lot of cash can be. Okay, and what they can do with the news, they can, if they want to push the price down, they'll force the price up first and take away all those stop losses to liquidate the market for themselves before then pushing the price in the direction that they want to do. And we see it all the time, and this is the way that a lot of retail traders get caught out. You know, so you need to be mindful of the news, and that's why we always check the news. So let's look. Euro USD. Okay, and we know we've got high impact at 1500 for the US. 1500, yeah. So Euro USD, we're currently in what we call no man's land. So there's no way we would even consider a trade in this zone, in this wedge zone between the green and the red trend lines, because you've got too much support and resistance in either direction. It's not really, it needs to break out one way or the other way. Okay, so we'll just wait for that to see what it's going to do. See, what we're looking for is if this came down, okay, and obviously it's just flipped the PSAR, so the PSAR is now red, okay, and currently we're still in a wave up. Okay, so the straightforward Forex indicator is the first thing we look for. Okay, the wave up. We're in a wave up. It's telling us get into buys, but it's going the wrong way. Okay, so we've got a conflict there, so we stay out. Moderata currently in the dead zone. We stay out because there's not enough volume in there. But if everything's stacked in our favour, then essentially what I'd be looking for is this price to come all the way down, because obviously at this yellow 13 moving average, you've got a resistance. It's resisting there. It's going to come down. It's going to find resistance here. It's going to come down. It's going to find resistance at the red trend line, and furthermore, it's going to find resistance at the 200 moving average before it may well then come back down to the downside. So if it came back to here, okay, this area where it's free of the 200, we get the clear air, then maybe we can consider, okay, would it then come down to the pivot line? If that was the case, then we would look at, see, we're only looking at 5 pips. Only looking at, so that tells me the numbers just ain't there. Because to get a 1 to 2, unless we're going to have like a, well, you just wouldn't bother with it. Okay, you would never really bother with a 2 pip stop loss. It's all too tight. And all you're doing is chucking money at your broker. Okay, so we're going to leave that, let it do its thing. So we've got the pound CAD. Again, it's coming down. See how it's come down to the pivot line? Pivot line is resistance. Okay, and we might be thinking, okay, look, you know, he could have got in here for a nice sell, and possibly you could have. Okay, but again, I'm mindful of the news. You could maybe, in fact, you could have got your 1 to 2 ratio on that, but it's tight. Where are we? Here. So if we short this position, okay, let's say we got in there, okay, so again it's tight. Stop loss would have been above this trend line, okay, maybe even just up at the body of here, so 5.4. okay, could we have got a 1 to 2 out of this? Turn that off. So 1 to 2, just above the pivot line, or somewhere about there. So yeah, we'd have got a 2% out of that. Okay, but what's keeping me out is the news. Okay, because this quite easily could have been just a fake out. Okay. Right, GU in the dead zone. The dead zone. Literally nothing happening with that one. We're in the dead zone in between the 2 trend lines. What our ATAR is showing is no volume. What we're on a green PSAR and currently in a wave up. So unless price wants to go above here and also above the pivot, okay, and then sail up onto the imbalance, and that's fine. Okay, that's the next area of interest there, this high. Okay, so this high is going to find resistance, and what else have we got on that high? This, yeah, around this area. Nope, sorry, wrong way. Right, yeah, so we're just waiting, nothing happening. Euro US in the dead zone, and you can see what's keeping us out. This wave up, it's telling us wave up, but it's in between the two trend lines. The Water is showing us no volume. We're in a wave down with the PSARs, so nothing is congruent. We've got no congruency at all with that. Okay. It's going to be interesting to find out what happens with the CAD. Have we got the lines on there? Yeah, I've got the lines on there. We'll wait and see. What have we got? 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes before the news kicks in. Dead zone. So that's not doing much now, because there's not much volume in it, and people are generally waiting for the news to kick in. Euro USD is in the dead zone. GBP CAD is doing pretty much the same as Euro CAD. GBP USD is doing the same as Euro USD in the dead zone. If anyone tells you that, you know, Forex trading is a cut and thrust and it's exciting and it's great, then they're not Forex traders. Sometimes Forex trading is just plain boring, and that's really how it wants to be. No excitement, no emotions. Keep your emotions at the door. Just use pure logic if you can. Let me go and put the vertical trend line on there. That's the news coming up at 1500. So price is pushed up, look. Maybe enticing people to make a decision before that news kicks in, but EuroCAD's doing the same as well. But we're in a wave down. We're in a wave down, and yet we've got this move. Okay. Tell me about that, please. PSAR flip. Okay, and also the PSAR is a fair distance away from the body, and this little move here. Okay. Currently, it's it's only 5.4 pips. It's only about $50 million. Right, 1330. Let's go and have a look at that. Okay, so it's going back to the upside. Like I said, it may well take out some of these stop losses before then coming back down to the downside. So this is where I would probably put my stop loss, being above here, which is about where price is right now. Well, that's doing its thing. Let's have a quick look at GBP CAD. Be doing exactly the same thing, look. Not a violent reaction to the news, but a reaction all the same. Euro USD still bimbling around in that no man's land. Okay, just around here doing nothing, absolutely nothing. And GBP USD again, same thing, absolutely nothing. So let's have a look. We've got the price has gone above our trend line. Okay, we've got 17 seconds left on this. We've got a PSAR flip. We've got a nice move up here. We're currently in a wave down. Okay, that tells you all you need to know. All you need to know, you look at this and you think, I'm going to get in for the buy, but you realise it's just pure manipulation, and your indicator here is telling it to stay out, and we're going to stay out. Okay, we've got these highs here. Okay, so it's currently at or around this area of interest. And again, what I like to say when you've got high impact news is that you've got unpredictability, and I always like to say it's like somebody coming in with a flamethrower, I don't know where I got that analogy from, and setting fire to a room or a house or whatever you've got in your head. Okay, and retail traders run in, let's save the telly, let's save our laptop, you know, and they all get burned as a result. Okay, so what a lot of people do in the markets. A lot of people getting burned in the markets because they don't understand. A lot of people don't understand what can happen. Okay, and when you realise this is all nonsense and pure manipulation, that banks want to go, right, I'm going to chuck in loads of money and I'm going to manipulate the markets for our own benefits. This is not normal. Okay, it's just pure manipulation. And yeah, banks and that, I'll say banks, let me call it financial institutions, they're not permitted to manipulate the markets. Of course they're not. So they do it behind news. This is why news is so important for us. Okay, but yeah, what you got to do, you got to wait for that fire to die down, let it all die down, let the smoke out. Okay, let it cool down, and then go in and then investigate it, assess the scene, what's happened, has it calmed down. Okay, now we can see what we can retrieve from it. Okay, you can see how price went all the way through, and now it's coming back to this. It's come back to this area. It bounced off a trend line, and it's now up here. So one of the things I always say when you put your trend lines on the chart, one of the big questions I had when I first started trading was, well, why are you putting your trend lines there, and how do you know that price is going to respect that trend line, or vice versa? And when you see this sort of thing, it gives you confidence, additional confidence and confirmations that the strategy works, and it just gives you that confidence to trade confidently. So I know I said that word about 4 times now, but having the confidence to put trades on means everything. Okay, having the confidence to keep your trade live rather than altering stop losses or altering take profit levels because you're not really that sure is not the way to go. Okay, so look, we've now got a wave up. Okay, we've now got the PSAR. Obviously, we had the PSAR flip before. We're starting to run out of volume on the Wadarata, and we're starting to get these little nasty doji candle indecision candles, which is never good. We'll come back to that in a bit anyway, see what's going to happen. So Euro USD still kind of, you know, turning over in bed. Not really sure if I want to get up on it. No, I'm not really. I'm going to stay in bed for a bit longer. Okay, still in no man's land. GBP CAD, kind of nowhere. It's still below, for the buy anyway, it's still below the green trend line. We're in a wave up. We've got the PSAR flip. The WADAR is reasonably good. Okay, what you want with the Wadarata, you want the explosion line to be pointing up, okay, for a buy. You want the green, the dark green as it is, and you want the histogram to be above the explosion line. I mean, the Wadarata is like a 3-in-1 indicator. It's really good, and will keep you out of a lot of trades if you're not quite sure. It's a good sanity check. But, you know, if this price then did continue, okay, first of all, you've got resistance at the green, you've got resistance at the red, and you've got resistance at the 200. And then you've got only a small amount of movement to the pivot. Okay, so let's have a look. So, to the red is 3.1. To the 200 moving average, 7.6. To the pivot, 15.3. Okay, and then from the pivot, from the 200 moving average to the pivot is 7 pips. It's just a nasty situation to be in. So stay out. Stay out. GU, Yeah, still hit the snooze button. Not doing anything in this area of no man's land, so it might be the case of just, you know, setting an alert. Okay, as I said, you can go and set your parallel channel, so you can get your parallel channel over, I think it's over here somewhere. You can go find it. Parallel channel, what I do, I put all my favourites on, so let's have a see what I got in the way of favourites. So trend line, okay, all you need to do is just click the star, okay, and you'll get it on favourites up here, and you don't have to go into this every time. Horizontal line, horizontal ray, vertical line, and obviously there I've got parallel channel and pitchforks, okay, if we're going to use the harmonic scans. Again, an entirely different strategy in itself, but again, really one that's really simple. I love it. So yeah, parallel channel, we would go somewhere maybe just above. Let's go on the maybe around the pivot, and then down to about there. Okay, and all we want to do, we want TradingView to tell us, okay, let us know when the price comes out of this line here. Okay, and from here down to there, 7.6 pips, and from there upwards. So that's what we do. So we could just click that. Okay, we click this little clock, and we can say, okay, GBP USD, we want to exit in the channel on the parallel channel, and we can do once, only once. So I'll go off once, and that's it. You get one alert, you're done. Every time it comes through, it alerts. So it'll come through, come back, come through, alert, back, alert, back, alert, and that's what it'll do. Okay, so if you do that on 4 or 5 pairs, you'll get constant alarms going off, but at least you'll know what's happening. Okay, and you can get emails as well. It'll alert you via email. So if we just do only once on this time, and message, you can customize the message to whatever message you want. Okay, you can write a little message to yourself. Hey John, have a look at this, and also consider whatever. You can put whatever you want just to make it easy for you. Okay, and then click on create. Once it's been created, you'll get like a little icon to say there's an alert on it, and all you do is you can go off and do whatever you want, go back to work, and when these alerts come through, we can come through to your phone. You can have a little sneaky look on your phone like that if you're at work, buy, sell, or stay out. Okay, and remember to set your stop losses as a matter of priority first, and also you take profit levels. Okay, so let's go and have a look at this. What's happening? Nothing's happening. Okay, what's happening with USD? Okay, we've come below the trend line now, so that's interesting. 10 seconds left on this. We've got, yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? 5.6 pips to there. Came all the way down optimistically, there's 9 pips there. Okay, but that being optimistic is no good, so we've got 7 pips. We've got this area here and this area here as potential areas of interest. If we were to take this trade, let me show you what I would do. Okay, so that's the wrong one. We would short. Okay, so shorting where we are now, that takes our stop loss up here. Okay, so you want it above the grid, above the red trend line. Okay, and that gives us a bit of breathing space. So 4.6 pips isn't too bad. Okay, now if we were to do a 1 to 2, now you can see how crazy this seems, because that is a big move. Okay, based on this price action here. So yeah, if we brought our stop loss down a little bit, excuse me, I just do that because I'm on it. It's going to go to sleep. That's it. We brought our stop loss down, which then increases our risk just to us, you know, if price reverses, it's only just above the trend line, and then our 1 to 2 is still there. Okay, you know, so if all we get from here is 4.5 pips, then who's benefiting most? Okay, we're probably going to have to give 1 or 2 pips away to the broker. We haven't got enough in this. Okay, even though it looks promising. Okay, you know, the house might look beautiful from the outside, but if it's too expensive and you can't make your profits, don't go and buy it. Okay, and there's our alert on GU. Okay, so I'll look at GU. There we go. It's starting to break out of that parallel channel. Okay, and we've got a similar situation going on here. Now, 7.1 pips is not too bad. Okay, but are we going to see price go down to, you know, 12, 13, 14 pips like we want it to, in order to get our proper 1-to-2 ratio? Again, let's have a look. How do I keep pressing that one? Right, so hit the short. So in stop loss just above the red trend line. And where's 1-to-2? Okay, that's near enough. 1 to 2.1. If we go left, okay, you see how the low came down. Oh, that was news, almost to the pivot. Okay, price then came down, touched the pivot. Okay, what's the chances of the price going all the way through? Okay, pretty low. There, hit the pivot. Okay, this is another pivot from a previous day and a previous low and a lower low. But again, the chances of this, get this bigger so we can see it, the chances of this coming down, achieving our take profit, pretty much is it's pretty low, I think. Price will probably come back down to the pivot line here, and yes, we could potentially take some profit from that, but nothing to write home about. Probably another 5 pips, 6 pips. Okay, doesn't really if you look at what, a pip or 2 in broker spread, you're looking at gaining 4 pips. And I appreciate the fact that you can alter your lot size to make it relevant for your account, but you know, we still want to be taking really good trades. Okay, and this is not a great trade. Same as what was the other one we looked at? This one. It wasn't a great trade, and like I said, look, it's probably going to come down to the pivot and bounce back off again, and that's what it's done. Exactly what it's done. So from here, we've got, we could look at that. Okay, let's say we were glued to our screens and went, okay, we've got 4.5 pips. Wonderful. Okay, but do we want to be second guessing what we do? Again, it's all about confidence, building that confidence. And if we've got the confidence to stay out of a trade because the numbers don't work, then stay out of a trade. It's better than saying, well, I can get 4.5 pips if I can take myself out of the trade early enough. Okay, and by the time you've got your phone out, or if you're at work, or if you get distracted and you come back and suddenly you realise it's taking you out, it's you kick yourself. Okay, so only getting great trades, because when you start doing this, then you start second guessing yourself, then your confidence takes a knock, and then before you know it, you say trading's not for me. I tried it, but it wasn't for me. It's only because your mindset wasn't quite right. Okay, it doesn't take much to knock confidence when it comes to trading, because you have no control over it. Okay, the price will do exactly what the price wants to do. You know, and there's no way that you personally can mitigate that other than becoming a better trader. Okay, so a lot of people try and mitigate the unpredictability of the markets by trying to second guess the markets. Every trade I take goes the wrong way. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do my assessment. I'm going to go the opposite way. Okay, and you still lose. All right, or you chase trades, or you put a bigger lot size on to try and make up your losses. Before you know it, you've blown your account. Okay, so this is why this trade would have been a non-starter, because the numbers weren't enough. There weren't enough numbers in it. Right, GBP CAD. Yeah, GBP USD. See, they're all doing the same thing. Just very little volume. Friday afternoon, lethargic. let me go back to that one. Same lethargic move. We had the news, it pushed up a bit. Okay, it didn't really get us going because it didn't really form part of our strategy, so we stay out. Again, we don't second guess anything. It came back down from here. Okay, so yeah, I mean, potentially you could have looked at that, maybe got in. You wouldn't have got in there because it's a green candle. You're still in a wave up though. You're in a wave up, so you would not even have got into that. Hindsight's a wonderful thing when you can go back and look at what price did, and you can say, why didn't you do that? Okay, but at the time, it was in a wave up. Okay, at the time, the Wadarata was going stay out. Okay, and obviously we're still in the dead zone. Okay, so from here, look, price came down, but the Wadarata are still bloody green. So, no. This is why I say this week has been a very strange week indeed, and you're going to get weeks like that. And again, it all comes down to building your confidence. If your confidence is up there, where you go, hang on a minute, this isn't really working, there's something different going on, what is going on? It's not me, because I know my strategy. You know, I've done, you know, weeks and weeks of back testing. I'm talking about you now, not me. I've done weeks of back testing, I know the markets, I understand the patterns, and this is an unusual pattern. What's going on? Okay, and this is why it's great to have the community. You can jump in the community and say, has anyone noticed some strange price action going on? Yeah, absolutely. Why do you think that's happening? And you can get an assessment. Okay, it's news, it's Martin Luther King Day, it's the recovery from the new year. There could be all kinds of things. Okay, and that's why it's invaluable to get with a community. Yeah, you can go so far with YouTube videos. I mean, this is why I do what I do, is because there are a lot of people who want to learn to trade, but you don't really understand the finer nuances of trading until you can really understand what's going on with price and how things interact, you know. And it's all right having all the indicators on, saying, okay, we've got a wave down. Okay, well, why have we got a wave down? What the hell does that mean? Why have we got a wave down? What's caused a wave down? Okay, and then you understand that, and obviously, you know, the guy that programmed this, okay, he needs to understand how price reacts to build the indicator, you know, and he's a guy in our team, so we can get that information and use that to our benefit. And it's just a case of learning all the ins and outs, like I said, the nuances and the subtleties of price and what's happening. And what's happening right now is that we're going above the green trend line. We're still in a wave down though, so I'm not interested in this yet. It's piquing my interest because it's excuse me, it's going above the green. Okay, but what's keeping me out? We're in a wave down. Got red PSARs. We're not really above the histogram. So alright, Euro USD, middle of nowhere, and if we were in this, we'd have been into drawdown, and no doubt that's going to take us out if we were in it, but we weren't because the numbers didn't work. GBP CAD, no sir, no way, because look, if it came up to there, we're in a wave up, okay, but it's got to come up to there to flip the PSAR. Then we've only got a short journey to the red trend line, short journey to the 200 moving average, and then on the way up from here to the 7.8 pips to the pivot. And if we look at the pivot, then we've got to say, okay, what have we got in terms of price action? Excuse me. I was up early this morning for trading. I didn't actually I didn't record the session, I just did it for myself. But yeah, where are these areas of interest? Look at all these little wicks here, okay? And then where are the bodies? Okay, so, and again, wicked here, okay, wicked here. So these areas of interest are really important to look at, and what it will do, it will give you more idea of price action, okay? And the more you do manually and the less you do with indicators and, let me say it, AI, okay, hate AI, okay, it's making people lazy and it's making people dumb. I'll say that, okay. People go, oh, look at me, I've had loads of results. I've got this wonderful AI tool. Okay, so do you really understand trading? No. Okay, well, good luck with that then. You know, the whole point of learning to trade is to become financially independent. Okay, not financially dependent on some AI bot. Okay, because once you learn something, no one can take it away from you. But of course, learning something takes time and effort, and the majority of people cannot be bothered to put the effort in. So if you're somebody that can put the effort in and can stick with it for as long as needed, some people pick up trading in 3 months. I tell you, I used to hate them people. Well, I didn't really hate them people. I think, good for you, but I struggled. I struggle with numbers and I struggle with maths. I'm really good with English, creativity, drawing, okay, but numbers, I'm a bit illiterate with them. Okay, you get better over time. You practice and you get that memory, that brain, all the connections start to connect, and the connections strengthen, and you get more connections, and you get better. But it took me a while. It took me the best part of 12 months to really kind of get into a flow. But you've got to keep it up. You've got to keep that momentum going. And some people, 3-6 months, they're going, yeah, done it. Got a funded account. I've got $150,000 in funding, and I'm doing $1,000 a day. Okay, and you go, well done, well done. I'm still trying to figure out stop losses and take profits. But you'll get there, I guarantee, because of the help and the support of the community that we're about. And one of the great things about trading is that when we get onto the live sessions and you're together in a live environment, no one's competing against each other. Okay, the market, the Forex markets, what are the 6.6 trillion every single day goes through it. Okay, that's enough for everyone. Okay, that's enough for the banks, and it's enough for, there's nobody in competition. There's nobody trying to sponge an affiliate link of somebody else, or trying to just sign up under me. None of that. Okay, everyone wins and learns together, and it's a great thing. Right, so that's not doing anything. Euro USD, that's starting to go sideways after hitting that pivot. And we've got the news at 1500, so we can just put the line on there again, just to give us a visual about that. GBP CAD, nothing doing. And GBP USD, I think we looked at that a minute ago. Did we look at that a minute ago? That was this one. So they're almost the same. The Euro GBP, pretty much the same thing. In fact, this panel channel, I'm going to take it off just so I can see the charts a bit better. So yeah, I mean, if it goes for the buy, we've still got the distance to make up from here to get to the green trend line, then the pivot line. Okay, so if it did go above here, then we'd be going, okay, we've got a nice bit of distance to the imbalance. If we go left, okay, we've got this higher high here, which could be an area of resistance. Okay, and obviously this one here, and then going up towards this high here, and then the imbalance. Okay, but it's not there. It's not there yet. And also, where we determine where price is going to go depends greatly on price action at the time. Excuse me a second. And sometimes you can tell, because of the way price is going, whether it's going to run, whether it's rallying all the way up to the imbalance, or whether it's just a bit of an attempt by persuasive buyers who are battling the sellers. So you know. So there we go. This is the last session of the week, and it's been a weird week, and there's no exception today. Weird and a bit lethargic, and not really reacting in the way we want it to. This is sometimes happens. Sometimes you get weeks like that. Sometimes you get periods like that over Christmas. And it's the 19th today. 15th was the first day of the week, and thought pretty much it would recover, but we've had some good days, but nothing like we should have. So this has gone above the green trend line. Wave up, okay. PISA hasn't flipped yet. The Wadarata is showing as low volume still, and again that's represented by doji candle there. Doji candle is just a big wick and a small body. Okay, big wick, small body, slightly bigger, and then you get another doji candle, even though we're only just started. But doji candles, they do indicate indecision. Want to go for a buy, no, and sell, no, buy, no, and then you end up just like with a tiny little candle, and it moves on to the next time frame. I don't know what we'll do. We'll just have a quick look at the higher time frames. Let's look at the 15-minute. So what you can do as well, if we go to let's go to the hourly. Sometimes as scalpers, we quite often spend our time looking at the charts through a magnifying glass with sometimes too zoomed in. And this is, a lot of scalpers do this, where they always say I should look at things on a slightly higher time frame. And you can see from the higher time frame that this is the hour, so every candle you see, I know you can't see it because it's quite small, but every candle is an hour, and you can see that we're in a wave, or we're in an uptrend. Okay, so we're in an uptrend. All right. So if we look at it on the 15-minute, so we're zooming in. Where are we now? On a slight downtrend on the 15. Sorry, over here. So yeah, I would say. In fact, it almost seems like it's flatlined, and the whole week has we've got little peaks and troughs here, okay, but the whole week this is the 15th, so this is Martin Luther King Day. Bearing in mind this is Euro Canadian, okay, big moves that come down at 8:45, the open of the London session, but not a huge amount of volume, little bits here, but pretty much flat. And today even kind of worse. So let's go back to a 2 minutes. So we've come above the green trend line. Distance from here to here, 11 pips. Low volume still, okay. We've got the PISA flip, and we're going to wave up. So if we were to look at this, okay, let's look at where would we go. Okay, we want to go long. Okay, we want to put a crosshairs look where price is right now. Okay, first thing, stop loss below the green trend line. Okay, so I always say around 7 pips is always quite nice. So let's see what we've got. How does that represent? Okay, I'm going to put that below the trend line, but on the top of that wick on this candle here. Okay, then we'll go up to, where's 1 to 2? 1 to 2 takes us here above the pivot. So ideally we'd want our 1 to 2 to be below the pivot, and that would be better for us, but let's leave that on and see where it goes, because if price does continue to go up, okay, it'll go to the pivot. See there, it almost went to the pivot. Didn't quite have enough legs to get to the pivot. Okay, and also the other thing we've got to consider with this is the 200 moving average. Okay, that's going to be a resistance point. It's gone above it, but it's still touching it. Okay, so this, if it's still touching an area, it means it's still in touch with it. It's still connected with it, which means it's still in resistance. This price is still resisting. Okay, so this price is still resisting because of the 200 moving average. So more than likely, this could probably end up coming down and resist for quite some time, unless the price pushes past. And this is signified by the PSAR. It's quite a distance away from the PSAR to the body of the candle, which indicates it's more positive for that move. Okay, we've also got darker on the histogram, which is indicating there's a bit more strength, but look at the explosion line. It's kind of moving back towards the dead zone, so it's not 100%. Right, we're an hour in, so I'm just going to see how this plays out. But it's more than likely, what are we on? 48 seconds left. So we're still in resistance, but we're going in the right direction. So it would be nice. And see, I'm looking at this here. This is the time frame. So it's telling me there's 32 seconds left. It would be nice to see a new candle form and give us that gap in between all this noise, all this nastiness, and get some. We're now into free air. If it doesn't go back before the end of a time frame, and then we can maybe see a push up to the pivot. Okay. But if we do that, even from where we got in, what do we? I don't know. We'd do 11 pips on that, which isn't too bad, but it's still not our take profit level of 1 to 2. So now we've got the free air, and of course, as always, it comes back down for the retrace. So let's quick look at GBP CAD. That'll be doing maybe something similar. No, it's not ready. So if we're now, you see, look, we've hit this level here. Okay, so our area of interest would have been here. Okay, so unless we get a nice, collection of buyers, because all we're doing is buyers want the price to go up and sellers want the price to come down, and this is why you get this up and down. Okay, but right now we're at this high. Okay, so if it breaks through this high and it continues to the upside, then we've got to break through this high here. Let's put these on because it'll give us some indication of what's happening with price. So let's put that one on there, which is where I would look at for a buy, and we'll put this one on here. Okay, so these are our two areas of interest before we then go up to the pivot line. So we need to come through this line, or this area of resistance, then this area of resistance, and then up to here. Okay, and then I would imagine the price will retrace if it doesn't already retrace at any of these points. So we're just going to watch this through, see what happens, and then we'll call it a day. Oh Christ, I need a new office chair. Although it hasn't done too bad, it's only about 26 years old, so maybe treat myself to a new one. Let's zoom in on this so we can see it a bit easier. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep on watching this. But if you're still watching, what I'll do, I'm going to speed up the film, okay, so you can see it in like 2 or 3 or 4 times faster rather than watching this. So I'll see you on the other side. Right, so it looks like this is going to play out for some time. Obviously it went up to this area of interest and then bounced off from there, so we'll see how this goes. Anyway, if you got some value from this, give us a subscribe to the channel, really appreciate that. And if you got some value, give us a thumbs up as well, really appreciate that. We'll see you on the next session. Bye for now.